I look like I'm half naked. This is what you don't see when I'm setting up. I know I'm missing something. I have to tell Riverside. Am I live? I have no idea. Oh, I am seeing people join. Friends, I apologize for being late. Consider me your co-pilot for Reinvention. Welcome aboard, friends. I'm Raegan Medgie, a multi-Emmy award-winning journalist who left my TV news career in 2025 to bet on myself. And it turns out I'm not the only one. Unscripted Turbulence is for anyone who feels their life has been split into a before and an after. Take what lands, leave what doesn't, and please like, follow, and or subscribe. It helps more than you know. Wheels up. Let's get into it. All right. We almost accidentally went live on this one. That's not what we want to do. Oh, yoy. All right. Well, let's do this. Welcome to Unscripted Turbulence. All right. Well, if you joined in on the fun for the warm-up, the pre-game to the big live event, thank you. I'm still trying to figure this out. So I went to I'm recording this one, and we're going to recap the live event if you were not there. But I went to record this, and I noticed I went live by accident, and then because I'm still trying to learn everything, I had to stop the recording, then restarted it back up again. So this is a work in progress. And a lot of you have reached out, offered your help and assistance, because if you do not know, I'm doing all of this alone in terms of the podcast. The only time I get any assistance is when I go to Gotham Production Studios in the Garment District in Manhattan. That is where I do my my taped in-person interviews. So that's the only time I get help from the outside. That's where I record. But I edit everything. I market everything. I'm creating my website. I have a website that is in creation right now. It's in the process. So to be continued on that one. But yeah, so the live, the pregame I'm talking about happened on, I want to make sure I'm right with this because we're all over with the dates. It was on Friday, July 24th. And I want to start off by apologizing for being late. I was fashionably late, and by an hour, although I did say, to save my rump here, I did say I was going to be live after 7. I was live after 8. So I was fashionably late. And for those of you who are close friends of mine, you know that is not, that tracks. It's not uncommon. Pilot would be so upset, but that was not his show. It was mine. So there you go. Speaking of Pilot, he is in apartmento today. I learned how to say apartment. I'll get to that later. In Espanol. So he is in the other room. He claims he is not listening. I don't believe him. So yeah, those of you who showed up, showed out, turned up, turned out, got wild on my pregame run through of my live podcast on Friday, thank you. That was the warm up to the big live event. So I wanted to do a run through, technically speaking. It was at a weird time, I know. It was at a weird day, I know. And that was all by design. I didn't want too many of you in on it because if I really messed up royally, I didn't want to disappoint the masses. But there was an intimate gathering both on Instagram Live, Facebook Live, and also on YouTube Live. And that was all to ramp up for the big event, which is on Saturday, August 1st at 5 p.m. I will not be late for that one. Why are we doing a bonus podcast live? Live. It is not taped. It will be recorded, but it will be live. That's because it is the first birthday of Unscripted Turbulence. That's right, my friends. Let's give it up. Yeah. We made it a year, people. We made it a year. So a year We have been going strong with this podcast. And I say we because this is a we collective. This is a we thing. This isn't a me. This is a we. Because of you, I am able to do what I do for more reasons than one. Yes, to have that financial component for my sponsors I've had, for the, the subscribers to my Instagram subscription, that, but more so than anything, just your support, your comments, your positive DMs, everything. When I have a troll coming at me, the troll with the hot pink hair, you guys are there. So this is, you are being reflected in what I am doing. So thank you so much. So I want to celebrate my 1-year anniversary, my first birthday of Unscripted Turbulence with all of you. I want you to bring your beverages. I don't care what you're sipping. If it's water, seltzer water, I will have an actual martini, because on my pregame martini, it was a faux martini, because I wanted to make sure I was clear-headed and knew what the heck I was doing. But we'll have a real martini for me, whatever you want to bring. It's going to be 5:00 in the evening, before dinner, not too late, not too early. So those of you on the West Coast will still be able to partake. But yeah, it's going to be a grand old event for all of us together. So I'm really excited. Again, Saturday, August 1st, 5 p.m. Be there or be square. So I appreciate you. And I want to recap, if you were not here for the pregame, I want to recap because some fun things did happen. A lot of this was prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Oh, yes. That is courtesy of one of my mentors, John Mulder. He has been listening. He is one of my OG mentors, and he taught me that phrase, and that is so important. Again, it's prior planning prevents piss poor performance. Oh, yes. I went there, and I'll go there again and again and again. So that was all part of it. And in case you missed some of the highlights, here you go. Saturday, which is August 1st. That will be the first birthday of Unscripted Turbulence. Yes, my friends. And I have a very special announcement. Oh, do I? So I'm not saying anything beyond that. This is just loosey-goosey. And who knows, this could be part of a series. I don't know. We're just testing out the waters right now. I don't have a humongous technical background. If I have any cameramen's or women's watching me, I'm sure you have something to say in terms of, now the live video for, now we're back. If I had a producer, and there are a couple producers out there that I have mentioned that once I build my empire, I'm hiring you. If you were here now, it would be a little bit easier to do this. Oh, greetings from Costa Rica. Tika Wayne, get out of here. Really? We in New York City so understand. Oh, yeah, yep. I know you New Yorkers understand. I don't know how you did it. I don't know how New Yorkers have done it growing up here. And I don't know, my cousins who are Greek down the street, Opa, Tikanis, or Kalinikta, which is good evening, they would hop on the subway and go to school. And I just found out that there are really no community schools in New York City. Like the suburbs, we have community schools. We have in our neighborhood, here, that doesn't really happen. I still don't understand. Okay. I'm an honorary New Yorker. I appreciate that. Strange. Hi. Oh, we have Cameron and I. Cameron is joining us from San Francisco. He and I worked at the Walt Disney World internship program. Cameron was my neighbor. He was across the hall from me. I may or may not have had a couple of beverages several nights. This is not going where you all think it's going. And I would go into his apartment and I would up and talk about my night and just, I don't even know. The poor guy. I think I woke him up a couple of times. Anyway, at that time, I worked at Typhoon Lagoon as a lifeguard. And we would go to PI, which is Pleasure Island. And we would have our drinks, Mickey was not there. Mickey and Minnie were not in attendance, but the rest of us were, and it was fun. Okay, so to recap, again, Saturday, August 1st at 5 p.m. You will be able to partake and join in on the fun on YouTube Live, on Instagram Live, on Facebook Live. And I practiced a little bit with retrieving comments, so I kind of have a good flow of that too. I don't have a technical background like I mentioned. I mean, now I'm getting one. But this is all in real time. And I feel like when I became a journalist, I took some kind of oath to be transparent and honest and factual. And I am just transparently explaining and expressing everything to you and showing you in real time what this journey is like. So all the stumbles and the falls and the unedited moments, which is my podcast, specifically the live one last night. So, and the reason I'm not asking, or I'm not accepting help right now, again, all strategy, because I have learned that if I ask or if I accept too much help, I learn nothing. Just like Sean Turry said in last week's podcast, Revival Tour, burn the ships. You have no plan B. There's no option to retreat. So if I move forward with this and I stumble and fall in real time and I'm trying to figure it out, I'm figuring it out. So the next time I know what to do to prevent that from happening. It's much like pilot watching air disasters. I think I've mentioned this before. And I'm pretty sure every pilot out there, and if I'm wrong, call me out on this, but y'all watch air disasters. And I'll never forget this one moment. I was about to board a flight the next day, getting ready for an assignment at the Weather Channel. And I'm hearing screaming and a jet engine in the next room. And I look in, I go, oh, what's this? Pilot is watching air disasters. Not exactly what I wanted to hear before boarding a flight, you know what I'm saying? And getting ready for a trip. And the reason he watches air disasters is to educate himself and to learn about prior air disasters, crashes, issues, whatever. And it serves as kind of a, I don't know, homework for him. What was operator error? What was mechanical? What can be done in the flight deck? Also known as the cockpit. But now it's called the flight deck. I don't know when that changed, but whatever. I get a giggle out of it. So that's why he watches it. So I did my own air disasters. So I need my own air disasters. So when things go kaput, I know how to... So I'm not leaning on somebody, because the worst thing ever is to lean on someone who knows everything about what you're doing. And then when something turns to shit, you can't reach them because they're not there, because they're busy doing something. And I've had that happen before, and I will not have that happen again. So that's why please continue to offer your help, because I'm sure I will eventually reach out. But for now, that's why I'm being very stubborn, very, very stubborn about this. I mentioned the Walt Disney World College Internship Program with my friend Cameron. We had so much fun. So that is an internship program. If you're not familiar with it, or if you have kids who are eventually going to college, this might be something that they could be interested in, or maybe suggest it to them. So Walt Disney World comes to college campuses, not every college campus, but came to my college, which is Temple University. Go Owls. And when they get there, they basically, you sign up for an interview. You have to dress nice. It's like a real thing. At that time, this was back in 2001 and 2002, because the first time I interviewed, I did not get it. The second time I interviewed, I got it. So yeah. And you dress up nice, and you basically explain what you want to do, who you are, why you want to go down and be part of the internship program. And it's a real thing. So then you wait, and you either, when you get notice in the mail at that time, it was you got in or you didn't get in. So when I got in, I got my arrival date and what I was doing, my role, which was a lifeguard at Typhoon Lagoon, which was next to news, the most stressful job I ever had in my entire life. But when you get down there, you meet other cast members, and it is really cool because you meet people throughout the entire world. Like when I was in my dorm, and I'm still friends with my peeps. When I was in my dorm in the college internship program, I roomed with one of my best buddies, Danielle. And I hope Danielle is listening. So we were roommates, and then there was 2 other rooms. One was a girl from Kansas and a girl from Japan. Her name's Nago. The girl from Kansas is slipping my mind, and I feel terrible about that. The other 2, Rachel and Aaron. Rachel was from Wisconsin. Aaron, was she from Kentucky, I think? I mean, it's from everywhere. I feel bad about Kansas. Why? She was dating a guy named Tyler. Oh, it's slipping my mind right now. But we all roomed together, but it was from all over. I made friends with somebody from Texas. Even in college you do too, but I just, Vegas, California, the list goes on. So wild, so cool. We would all have our jobs during the morning, the afternoon, or the night, whatever role you had. And then afterwards, late night, you'd go out, and we'd go out to PI. Now, I mentioned PI, which is short for Pleasure Island. Again, not what you think. It was a nightclub. It was a cluster of nightclubs in Disney World. No longer exists. I think it's called Disney Springs now. And the last time I went down there a couple years ago with Pilot, because at one point Pilot was based in Orlando, flying for Delta Connection at that time. That's a regional jet. And when he was down there, oddly enough, he was down there at the same time I was down there. But we never knew. But we would all the Disney cast members, we would go out and we would hang out on Church Street, which is a big downtown Orlando, lined with bars street. I mean, it's just, but Pleasure Island was for Disney. It was Disney property, and it was all of these nightclubs. There was a hip hop nightclub. There was a country nightclub. It was so much fun. Oh my gosh. And then it closed. R.I.P. PI. So sad. And if there are any Disney internship people listening, you share the sorrow with me. It was such a great time. So when I was talking about PI, that's what I meant, Pleasure Island. Now it's Disney Springs. Now Disney Springs is like, it's got restaurants and shopping. Pleasure Island was so great. And some cast members weren't allowed there not because they got kicked out, but it was 21 and older because it was drinking. So, oh Lord, oh that in Church Street. Oh gosh, the memories. And I want you all to remember those days of your life when you were young and maybe or maybe not would end up on a bar or 2 dancing. Shots were had. I mean, it was just splendid. And then the next morning we go back at it. Smiles, welcome. Have a magical day. Although I will say there was one guy that I worked with at Typhoon Lagoon. And he got so wasted the night before. The next morning we would all lifeguard together, but he reeked of alcohol, and Disney has a very strict protocol. And he got yanked from the post that day, and he had to be the janitor and pick up trash. At least that's what Disney is, right? So you can't argue. Disney knows what it's doing. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Okay. Anyway, I digress. So some people asked during the live event for now it's last night, okay? Because I'm recording this on Saturday, the 25th of July. But somebody asked about Pilot. Pilot was not an apartmento. He was flying, and there were a couple of questions asked. So one of those questions was, does he get miles? And I'll get into that. So I pulled another clip And again, in case you missed the extravaganza of the pregame live event, take a listen. Pilot is not in casa. Como se dice apartment en español? Can someone help me? Apartmente? So, Pilot is not here. This is why we're able to really do this, because I got the door open, I got all the lights on. He is flying. Technically, he's deadheading right now. So when he communicates with me with the phone, some people say when they text each other, he does not really use a lot of words, but he'll use emojis. So when he takes off, he sends the emoji of the airplane taking off. And when he lands, he sends the emoji of the airplane landing. And then when he's hungry, he usually sends a bunch of emojis with food. Am I a trad wife? Well, I know that's a hot name these days, trad wife. Now, I like to say, do I cook for a Pilot? Of course I do. I will also say that that is our love language. So be it as it may. But yes, he is flying. He went out to, where did he go? He flew this morning. Yeah, so he made overnight oats for me last night, and I did not know that. He woke up earlier today than me. I wanted to sleep in, and which is great. And then he made his own breakfast, which was nice. So that's like non-trad wife. And then he left at 10 a.m. from JFK. I think he went to LA. And then he told me that one of his favorite pilots was flying the return flight back. Now, he could have spent the night. I would have spent the night. Why not? But he just needed to get back, because when you travel as much as he does, as he tells me, he wants to sleep in his own bed. Now, when I was at the Weather Channel for 2 years, I got that to a point, because you literally, as a correspondent in the news and you're traveling, you're everywhere and you're sleeping in different beds. There were times I'd wake up, I wouldn't even know my time zone. Pilot is kind of like that, but can't be as bad because the FAA requires them to have full sleep. And if he does not have ample sleep, he can call in fatigue. Did you know that? Because I didn't know that. And for my TV people out there, and I'm staying in my lane for TV because I know there's other jobs that would like to do that. Can you imagine calling in fatigue? Yeah, can't wake up at 1:30 in the morning. Call in fatigue. I mean, Pilot has lives on his hands. He's responsible for how many souls on an airplane, so I get that. But TV people are responsible for souls too. Our soul and the souls of the viewers. And God forbid we have a bad day, we have to interview somebody and we're not happy. So yes, he is now in the sky, en route back to JFK, and he's landing at 1 a.m. God bless him. I mean, I would stay in LA. I'd spend a night. Why not? So that's where he is. He's not here right now. Glory be. I can easily move about and do whatever I want. That he's so strict. But let me tell you, the Sonos, when I was pumping the jams, not a fan. I would pump jams now. I could pump jams, but then you wouldn't be able to hear me. Maybe we'll end it with like a dance party, like a really good song, because I got a little Sonos behind me, but it's not the bar. The bar is freaking phenomenal. Okay, a big shout out to George Romero, who corrected me. It's not apartamente, it's apartamento en español. ¿Cómo se dice apartment en español? Apartmento. Did not know that. So thank you, George Romero, if you are listening. So about Pilot and some details. I did ask him. He is in apartmento ahora, now. And he shed some light because I asked him, and I said, do you get miles, like air miles when you fly? I should know this by now. I've been married to him. We've been together. Are you ready for this? We have been together for 20 years. Oh my gosh. You hear that, Pilot? 20 years. He's not listening. And I don't know the answer to this. So I go and I say, hey, do you get miles when you fly? And he looks at me with this like mad face. Why do you want to know? I don't know, because I am involved in a conspiracy right now, and I'm digging for information. Wait. So I said, just answer the question, and he argued me, and I said, somebody asked last night. I said, this is why you should be on the podcast. He goes, absolutely not. I told you already. And then I told him, I said, you know what? I am not going to stop asking, and I will wear you down like Urkel did in Family Matters to Laura Winslow. I'm going to wear you down, baby. I'm going to wear you down. That's right. So I'm still working on that, but in the interim, he provided me some answers and enlightenment. No, he does not get air miles. No. He also does not get reimbursed for hotel rooms. The airline he works for has a contract with hotels, like a 2 or 3 year contract, and they get rooms and that's it. Okay. Then he tells me, if you work for a company like NetJets, and then he said to me, have you ever heard of NetJets? What do you think? I am in my world of media. I don't know what you do, clearly. So he said, NetJets, you're basically, as a pilot, you get great perks. And I said, well, you're going to have to explain that one. So they don't all sound very perky to me, but when you work for NetJets, think of it as like an air taxi, okay? But you work 7 days on, 7 days off. But during that 7 days on, you have no idea where you're going. Pilot knows where he's going. You have no idea, where you're staying. Pilot knows where he's staying. In those 7 days, you will get an agenda, but it may change because the people who rent the jet can decide, instead of going to, I don't know, Rio de Janeiro, we want to go to Cancun. And it's whatever they want. But you, as the pilot, are at the beck and call wherever they want to go. Pilot, that does not happen. A passenger can't come up to pilot and be like, I don't want to go to Vegas. I want to go to San Fran. That does not happen. NetJets, it does. Now, I just said that and I paused because in the event, since pilot is here, he's not going to correct me. He's just going to let me crash and burn this description and then afterwards correct me, which will not help me at all. But anyway, so that's the difference. So the perks, he says, for NetJets is if the people who rent the jet want to stay at the Marriott or whatever is in that area, the pilots will stay there too. And I think they get points for staying there, but then per terms of the contract of however it is worked out with NetJets, the hotel room is paid for, but they get the points. I think. Again, if he was on this pod, we'd be able to have this conversation a bit more. But that said, I had mentioned, if you have seen the post or not, to get questions to me for this grandiose first birthday party for Unscripted Turbulence on Saturday, August 1st at 5 p.m., email me. Here's my new email address. It's all official now. Raegan, Raegan, at thereaganmedgie.com. Okay? thereaganmedgie.com. Will that be my website name? Yes. Is it live yet? No, I'm still working on it. But my email is set up. Any question you want me to answer for the live event, because I'm celebrating this with you, okay? Email me, Raegan at thereaganmedgie.com. If you DM me or comment, I'll try to collect those too, but I'm just trying to get a one-stop shop for all of my questions. If you have a question for pilot, email me, Raegan at thereaganmedgie.com. I will see if I can get some answers for you. Depending upon how many questions I receive, that could be its own podcast. I don't know. So that's that. You did notice during the clip I had played earlier, I did answer some comments. Now, here's the thing. I could not get access to my Facebook Live because I was told that I need to have several screens up. I had my laptop was up, so I got to see what I was talking about. What I was talking about. I know what I was talking about. It was in my head, but I could see what people were commenting. But I didn't have the YouTube Live up. There were no comments there. But I didn't get to the Facebook comments. So then I thought, why don't I look if there were comments? And there were. So if you commented on Facebook, here's your opportunity to hear the response from me. Okay. So let me get to my, comments. So I want to make sure that I have the thing up here. All right. There were 67 comments. So the first one, apartment in Spanish is apartamento, from George Romero. Again, thank you. You get a thumbs up for that. I know Adam went to the Mets game, but obviously this was more entertaining. I assume the Mets lost. Let's go Mets. My friend Deborah didn't catch me, but she also has problems trying to figure out her phone, Yamas, and she will be at the live podcast broadcast on August 1st at 5 p.m. Oh, which is Teresa's birthday. Even better. It's turbulence time. I like that. So Mike Shatino, I usually say it's martini time. It might be it's turbulence time. I think you got something here, Mike. Thank you. And Sandra doesn't drink alcohol. She drinks, but just not alcohol in her drink. So she's going to have a matcha latte. Again, when you attend the August 1st podcast broadcast birthday party for Unscripted Turbulence, 5 p.m., I want you to bring a drink. I don't care what drink it is. If you want an empty cup of air, bring that. Just bring a glass, a cup with you to the thing. All right, this is fun. Juan Lopez is a cameraman for NBC Network and was my cameraman for several. He works in the South, I think, though. He was for several assignments, and he was phenomenal. And he says he misses working with me. And I know that he is one I can also reach out to should I come into an issue, technically speaking. Somebody watched from Naples, Florida, Noreen. Oh my gosh, so great. If Lauren Glassberg joins in, I'm going to pass out, from Victor Hernandez. Victor, I'm thinking Lauren Glassberg may be part of this podcast in the future. This is great. People are joining from Nipa, Northeast Pennsylvania, where I used to work at Newswatch 16. That's John Opachinsky III. John Hay misses me on broadcast TV, but loves my podcast. And that's what I like to hear. Because sadly, broadcast TV is... But again, if you put this on TV, this podcast, and you pipe it through your TV, if you have a smart TV... It's like the same thing, only I'm unfiltered now, and I can say whatever the hell I want, however long I want. Doesn't matter. And my buddy Dan McKenna, 6 watching Stone Harbor. I don't know if you mean that 6 of you are watching, but I'm sure Katrina, my best friend, will correct him on that. And Anthony Nozolilio. I know I butchered the last name. Gimme Shelter. Because I had a jam band session at the end. I played Dave Matthews Band, one of my favorite songs, Stay. And I got copyrighted, a little ding. I'm not getting charged or anything, but so I thought maybe I could do like a little jam band, but unless I own the music, and I'm not a musician. I mean, I could play the flute, but nobody wants that. Not a jazz flute. That's just not going to happen. So it's kind of... I have a lot of comments here, and I'm really grateful for them. This is so great. Katie DeAngelis loves my plants. They are most fabulous. Now, I have a plant story. If you have been following me, Pilot does not like plants. He despises them. So there's a plant behind me to my right, underneath my marathon medal, and oddly enough, underneath the airplane of an airline Pilot may or may not fly for. Because again, we have so many airplanes from so many companies in this apartmento. This plant you see behind me has, for those of you who are listening, it's an ivy plant, okay? I got it at Trader Joe's years ago. And as you know, ivy comes down, has long tendrils like it does to the left of me, and now starting finally to the right. The reason I say starting finally to the right, that the vines are finally growing, is because one day I came home. The plant was beautiful, had long vines. I came home and the plant didn't have long vines anymore. Pilot gave the plant a bob haircut. And I looked at the plant and I thought, no way. Fresh clippings. So I went over to him and I go, did something happen? And he says, yeah, they bothered me. They bothered you. They bothered him. The long tendrils of vines bothered him, so he gave the plant a proper bob cut. So when people say, oh, it must be so sexy to be married to a pilot, sure is. Yep. Okay, so the rest, looking at the rest of these comments here. Somebody said they have questions but didn't ask me anything, so please ask away. Ask away. So yeah, okay. How is it growing up in Bethlehem, PA? There we go. That's the question that person asked. It was fantastic. It was a slice of Americana. It was very nice. Okay. Christine Tormina, Pleasure Island was the bomb. See, she knows. It was the freaking bomb. And they closed shop. They closed it up. All right, so what did I learn from my pregame? I learned that I need to have more screens up. So I can get all your comments in real time. Hopefully, again, email me your questions, Raegan at thereaganmedgie.com. Any question. I don't care what it is. If you want to ask about my reinvention journey, if you want to ask about how I really feel, my bad days, my good days. If you want to ask pilot questions, please add those in there too. If you want to ask me about my workout routine or what favorite junk food I like to eat as to why maybe I have 10% more body fat on my body, whatever. Don't ask creepy things, because chances are I'm not answering those. But I'm noticing I don't get a lot of those, so that's great. But again, the big thing here, we have that broadcast, the podcast broadcast live event, Saturday, August 1st at 5 p.m., celebrating the first birthday of Unscripted Turbulence. And there will also be a very big announcement. I cannot wait, but I'm not saying anything beyond that because you got to tune in. All right, friends, see you then. Bye.